Benson to his wife, low voice. That Adeswa, she should have kept her business to herself. You don't bring a visa into a house with
Hear me? I believe you.
No one would do anything, Ma.
There is nothing to do today, but God does not sleep, my daughter.
I built that for 3 years. 3 years.
I know.
They sat together in the fading light. The compound moved around them like nothing had happened. Cooking smells, children running, a radio playing somewhere. Mama Efe passed through the courtyard without looking at her. That night, Adeswa sat alone outside with nothing in her hands. No sewing, no notebook, no plan. Just the quiet, enormous weight of a future that had been stolen in the dark. She could have screamed, she could have broken something, she could have gone to the police, to the elders, to anyone who would listen. But she already knew how that would end. She had seen how the compound looked at her today, with pity that quickly became distance. No one wanted to be near a girl the universe seemed to be punishing. So, she sat, and she made herself one quiet promise.
This will not be the end of my story.
She did not say it loudly. She did not say it to anyone. She said it to herself in the dark, the way people make the promises that actually hold. Then she went inside, lay down on her mat, and stared at the ceiling until sleep finally took her. Tomorrow, she would begin again, from nothing.
Nobody claps for a person starting over. That is the part they never tell you. They tell you about resilience, about rising, about how fire makes gold stronger. But they do not tell you what it feels like to walk through a market where people used to greet you with both hands and watch them look away. Adeswa knew that feeling now. The day she packed her small bag and left the Osifo compound, no one stopped her. Her father stood at the doorframe with the expression of a man who knew he had failed but could not find the words to say so. Mama Efe watched from the window. Adeswa did not look back. She moved into a single room in a face me, I face you off Obowo Road. The room had one window, a ceiling that complained whenever it rained, and a landlady named Mama Pius who had seen enough of life to mind her business. She had a little money left, not much, enough to buy time, not comfort. She started with what her hands already knew. She got a job at a tailoring shop on Textile Mill Road, not as the skilled trader she had been building herself into, but as an assistant, someone who cut thread, swept the floor, and handed pins to the woman who owned the machines. Her first week, she earned enough for 1 bag of rice and transport for 3 days. The second week, the shop owner, a stocky woman named Mama Roland, watched her work and moved her from the floor to the table. Mama Roland, not looking up from her machine.
You have done this before.
Small, Ma. I used to sew at home.
Small is not what I see. Sit down. Show me what you can do with this fabric.
Mama Roland watched, without speaking. When it was done, she held the work up to the light and turned it slowly.
Who taught you?
I taught myself, watching, practicing.
You have good hands. I will teach you the rest.
That was the first door. The mockery came from people she had not expected. Not strangers, neighbors, people from the old compound, women who had praised her at the water tap, who had called her a sharp girl, who had said, God sees you. Those same mouths now carried different words. She heard them at the market one afternoon. She did not mean to. She was pricing thread when 2 women from the compound passed behind her, voices low but not low enough.
You see that Adeswa, the one standing there, she used to form big girl visa abroad business. Now look, she is buying thread. If you cannot hold your own things, life will teach you. She should have been more careful. I heard she accused Mama Efe's daughter. Imagine, jealousy will not let some people rest.
Adeswa kept her eyes on the thread. She asked the price. She paid. She left. She walked the long way home so no one would see her face until she had arranged it back into something steady. Meanwhile, abroad, Efe was discovering something no one had warned her about. Opportunity without preparation is a heavy thing to carry. She had landed with Adeswa's documents, Adeswa's name on the program, and none of Adeswa's discipline. The structure of the program, the schedules, the accountability, the early mornings and required outputs felt to Efe like a punishment. She began skipping sessions. She found people who made skipping feel like freedom. The money she was giving for upkeep went in directions that had nothing to do with upkeep. Within 4 months, she had been quietly removed from the program. She did not call home to say so. She told her mother everything was fine. She found a room with 3 other Nigerian girls and began to survive in the way people survive when they have burnt the structure meant to hold them, one difficult day at a time with nothing growing underneath. But that story was abroad. Adesanya did not know it. She had no time to wonder. She was too busy building.
Mama Roland taught her pattern drafting. She learned to read body measurements. Mama Roland taught her pattern drafting. She learned to read body measurements the way some people read faces, quickly, accurately, with confidence. She learned which fabrics moved and which fabrics fought you. She learned how to make something from almost nothing and make it look intentional. After 8 months, Mama Roland called her in one morning before the shop opened.
I have a customer, a big one. She needs an outfit for her daughter's introduction. 12 pieces, all the women in the family. She asked me, I want to give it to you. I will supervise, but you will lead it. Can you do it?
Yes, Ma, I can do it.
Good. Don't let your hands lie to me.
Her hands did not lie. The 12 pieces were delivered on time, fitted perfectly, and the customer photographed every single one. She posted them, she tagged the shop, she told her friends. By the end of that week, 3 new customers had walked through Mama Roland's door asking for the girl who sewed the introduction outfits. They were not asking for Mama Roland, they were asking for Adesua. She did not celebrate loudly. She went home to her small room off Ugbowo Road, sat on the edge of her bed and allowed herself one quiet moment of something that felt like proof.
This is working.
Then she picked up her notebook and planned the next day. Outside, the city moved and hummed and forgot about her, the way cities forget about everyone who is not yet loud enough to demand remembering. She was not loud yet, but she was coming. 5 years is a long time. Long enough for a city to forget what it said about you. Long enough for the women who whispered at the market to need something from you. Long enough for a name that was once spoken with pity to be spoken with a different kind of weight entirely. Adeswa's shop was on Reservation Road now, a real shop, not a table, not a corner of someone else's space. Her name was on the sign outside in clean black letters, Adeswa Osifo Kucho. She had 3 girls working under her. She had a waiting list. She had suppliers who called her instead of the other way around. She had built it the same way she built everything. Quietly, completely, without asking anyone's permission. Mama Roland had come to the opening of the shop. She sat in the front row of plastic chairs, ate the small chops, and watched the whole afternoon with the calm expression of someone who had known this was coming long before anyone else did.
You remember what I told you that first day?
Don't let your hands lie to me.
Your hands never lied. Not once. I am proud of you, my daughter. You gave me the first door, Ma. I will never forget that. Go and receive your guests. This day belongs to you.
It did. For the first time in a long time, something belonged fully to her. Efe came back on a Tuesday. No announcement, no phone call ahead. Just a taxi that stopped at the old Osifo compound, a single bag, and a face that had aged in ways that had nothing to do with years. The abroad had not been kind. When the program ended and the structure collapsed, Efe spent 2 more years trying to hold herself together in a country that had no particular interest in helping her do so. She worked small jobs, she moved rooms 3 times, she borrowed money she could not repay. She carried the quiet shame of someone living a life that was never meant to be hers, wearing it every day until it became too heavy to pretend otherwise. She came home empty, and she came home knowing it. Mama Efe had aged too. The compound looked smaller somehow. Old Benson was gone. Mama Tunde had moved to her son's house in Beningiari. Chief Osifo moved slowly now, his knees giving him trouble, his